Welcome to Elevated, a place where the mystical meets the everyday. I am Dawn, a stay-at-home mom to a wild and spirited boy, and a guide in the realms of Reiki, Akashic Records, natural healing, and soulful living. Here, we'll talk energy, intuition, spirituality, but also the realness of motherhood, wellness, and creating balance in the chaos of it all. So grab your tea, take a deep breath, and join me as we explore healing, alignment, and the beauty of both the magical and the messy. Welcome to Elevated. Welcome to Elevated. I'm Dawn. I'm your host. I hope that you had a wonderful week. We just celebrated the Canadian Thanksgiving. It was our long weekend. I am in Canada. So we were able to connect with my husband's family and my family and have some outdoor time. We got our summer stuff all put away. We're ready for winter now. We had our last sort of nice day on Saturday. So Saturday morning we woke up, we went to the city. We got my son enrolled in the Home Depot Kids Club, and he made a haunted candy box, which he's 3.5. That was the greatest thing ever to make a candy box, and he absolutely loved it. It's something that he really truly enjoys doing, and it costs nothing. It's really great that he gets to do that once a month. It's kind of him and my husband's time. And then Monday, we just hung out. We didn't do much at all. We just hung out as a family, enjoyed each other's company, just relaxed, took some downtime, which was much needed. I feel like we've been so busy and so go, that it was nice just to have a day where we didn't have to do much of anything. I hope that you had a great long weekend if you're in Canada. Something that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time is synchronicities. I absolutely love synchronicities. I love when I see them. I always thank the universe when I see them. It's just something that makes me feel like I'm connected and maybe I'm on the right path or I'm being heard or something like that. So I thought that we could discuss synchronicities. And if you don't know what a synchronicity is, it's those little moments that make you pause and think, okay, universe, I see you. Maybe it's seeing the same number showing up again and again, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 11, 222, or a song that's playing at the exact moment when you're thinking about somebody and that song is a song that would remind you of them, or maybe a feather landing right in front of you on your path. Those are synchronicities. In this episode, what I want to talk about is what synchronicities really are from a spiritual and energetic perspective, how the Akashic Records can help us understand their meaning, what angel numbers and universal signs represent, and how to begin tuning into your own personal language with the universe. Let's start with the basics. What are synchronicities? The term synchronicity was first introduced by Carl Jung, who described it as a meaningful coincidence. Events that are connected not by cause and effect, but from a spiritual or energetic lens. Synchronicities are so much more than coincidences. They are vibrational alignments, little nods from the universe, your higher self, your guides, or even your soul family in spirit, showing you that you are in flow with your divine path. It's like the universe is whispering, you're on the right track. Keep going. In the Akashic Records, synchronicities are seen as energetic messages from the field of infinite potential, where your soul's blueprint, purpose, and timeline exists. When you begin aligning with your soul's truth, the energy around you shifts, and reality starts to reflect that alignment back to you. That's when you start noticing patterns, numbers, signs, repeating moments, people showing up at the right time, doors opening effortlessly. So for example, maybe you've been feeling unsure about starting a new path, like leaving your job or launching a healing practice. Everywhere you turn, you see 1111 on the clock. You meet someone who casually mentions Reiki, and a podcast episode pops up titled Trust the Leap. Those aren't coincidences. Those are actual cosmic breadcrumbs, the universe guiding you towards your next aligned step. you constantly thinking about something. I don't know how many times I'd be listening to a podcast and be like, I can do that. I think I can do that. Yep, that's where I should be going. And what happened was I had an Akashic Records reading done, and I was talking with the Akashic Records reader, and it literally came up where I was like, I think I should start a podcast. And she goes, yes, you absolutely should. So there was that leap. I already had an idea of a title that I wanted for the podcast, how I wanted to work the podcast, but everything I was doing was leading me to that. And the synchronicities of the numbers and feathers and all of that were coming in when I was thinking about doing the podcast. Everything in the universe is energy, and energy speaks through frequency and not words. Synchronicities are how the universe actually can communicate energetically with us. When your vibration matches a new timeline or path that's meant for you, your external world begins to rearrange to mirror that. So from the Akashic Records perspective, it's like your soul's energy starts broadcasting a new signal, and the quantum field responds to that. You begin to magnetize experiences that resonate with that energy. It's also your higher self saying, yes, you've tuned in to the right frequency. Keep following the feeling. So that could be with anything. If you're thinking about leaving your job, if you have a side hustle and you're just very uneasy at your office, it seems like nothing is really working out. Maybe you're just in a lower vibrational state when you're there, but then when you're doing your side hustle, you're in a higher vibrational state. You're happy, you're joyful, you're emitting higher energy and love and compassion and caring. That is your body and your soul telling you that one isn't fit for you and the other one is fit for you. When you're thinking about that, you're like, should I be leaving my job? Should I be taking the leap of faith? Should I be doing this? And when you're logically thinking about it, maybe it's scary because you're not going to have that guaranteed paycheck. And maybe it seems like you're going to be making a little less money and you know that there's potential, but you're scared and you don't know all of the ins and outs about it. And it's your nervous system one trying to keep you where you are. And then your soul is almost fighting that nervous system saying, no, we need to be here. We need to advance here. We need to grow to this spot. And then you're going to see your synchronicities showing up to you saying, yes, take that leap of faith. Yes, this is the right path for you. Yes, trust in yourself and do this. Some synchronicities that you can see would be angel numbers. And those are quite common. A lot of people will see them. They're a universal sign. It is one of the most common ways that the universe sends us a synchronicity is through numbers. And I think that's probably because numbers are everywhere on license plates. That's how I get a lot of mine. Time. You're always looking at a clock. We always have our phones with us now with a digital clock on there. Seats will have them as well. You're going shopping and you purchase something and the total comes to 333. That's the angels and the universe speaking to you. So you might see a lot of 111, 222, 333, 444. A lot of those sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, that type of thing. I'm going to go through briefly what each of them mean. And this is just basic. Usually how I think about it is if I'm thinking a thought and I see a number, a repeating number or a sign, that thought is really what that number or sign is actually confirming. When you're first starting, it's kind of good to maybe know a little bit of what each of them mean. So if you're driving and you're contemplating pros and cons of you going on a trip with your girlfriends and you kind of put it out there or you're thinking about it and all of a sudden you're like, should I go on this trip? Or you're just pondering the pros and the cons of it. And all of a sudden you get 1111 on your clock. Well, that would be confirmation that yes, you should be going on this trip with your girlfriends. So something like that could be an example of you thinking of something and then the universe confirming that for you. When I talk about what the angel numbers or universal numbers mean and represent spiritually, remember that your own intuition will always give the truest meaning for you. So 1111, 1111, a powerful wake-up call. It's like the universe saying, pay attention. You're aligning with your higher self. It often appears when you're entering a new phase of spiritual awakening or manifestation. 222, balance, harmony, and trust. You're being asked to surrender control and trust divine timing. Even if you see 234, that would be another one. So just because these numbers are the same three numbers, I always look at it if it's even the next two numbers after the first number. So 234 is going to have the same meaning as what 222 would have. And same with 1111. If you do 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to have the same sort of meaning. 333, the ascended masters or spiritual guides are with you at that time. So your loved ones are with you. Your spirit guides are with you. The ascended masters are going to be with you. They're helping you through this. They're guiding you through this. They're basically holding your hand and letting you know that, yes, we are here. You're supported in your creativity and your spiritual endeavors at that time as well. 444 is protection and grounding. So the angels are wrapping you safely and guiding you forward. 555, change is coming. Transformation, a shift that will lead you to greater alignment. Again, if you see 567, same thing. 666 is a message for you to focus on balance, self-care, and spiritual growth. 777, divine magic. You're in flow. Keep following your intuition. The energy is ripe for spiritual expansion. 888, abundance and infinite potential. The universe is reminding you of your power to create. 999 is completion. You're closing out an old cycle and preparing for rebirth. We are also in a 9-year in numerology, and that's the same thing. We're seeing completions of cycles. We're closing out our old cycle. We're getting ready for a new rebirth that is happening as we move into the 1 year next year. So it's interesting how sometimes even the angel numbers work with the numerology as well. But keep in mind that angel numbers aren't just about seeing the repeating digits. They're about the feeling and the message behind them. Your intuition. What does your intuition tell you about these as well? For example, maybe you've been asking for a sign that your loved one in spirit is okay, and then you see their birth date on a receipt, or you find a feather exactly where you needed the comfort. So you're asking that, you're like, is my loved one in spirit okay? And obviously you would say their name. And then all of a sudden a feather appears. Those are energetic winks from the other side as well. That's the other side saying, yes, I'm okay. Or if it's not them personally, another spirit guide or another spirit from the realm is saying, yes, they are okay. Another example, you might be thinking about starting a business. Maybe it's a Reiki business, a healing business, and wherever you look, you see butterflies. You see repeating 111. People are suddenly asking you about energy healing. That's not random. It's alignment, energy, showing up in a physical world to say to you, you're thinking this. We are telling you that yes, you should be doing this. That yes, it is in alignment for you and your highest good, growth, need, all of that. Signs can show up in countless different ways, through nature, through people, animals, songs, dreams, conversations overheard at just the right time. There is no such thing as coincidences. Everything is there for you to be able to see the signs and to learn and grow from. Your guides and higher self are always communicating with you. The key is to become aware of the messages from them, but not be obsessed by them, and to stay open and to stay grounded. Meaning, maybe not every single conversation is the universe trying to get your attention. And here's the thing. If you don't hear it the first time, they're going to speak a little louder. If you don't hear it the second time, they're going to speak a little louder. If you don't hear it the third time and fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, whatever the case might be, eventually there's going to be a point when the universe is going to speak loud enough to tell you and show you what you need, and you're going to hear it. Your messages will always come through. You will not miss them. If it is meant for you to truly have that message, it is going to come to you at the right time and at the right level of you to be able to hear it. Some common forms of spiritual signs are feathers, and usually a feather is a message from angels or loved ones. Birds or animals appearing repeatedly, those are totem messages or energy messengers. And sometimes it's not even that they have to show up repeatedly. Sometimes it's an animal out of the blue. So for instance, last week, out of nowhere, which doesn't fully make sense in our geographical area, but we think our cat brought home a dead muskrat and left it for us. We don't know where the cat would have got a muskrat from. And about probably a month prior to that, I would say, my mom was looking out her window one morning and there was a guy on the corner of her street taking a picture of some animal walking. And when my mom looked closer, it was a muskrat in their town. There's no water around where my mom lives for there to be a muskrat. Where we live, yes, there is a lake that is a kilometer away, but there's no other real water source for the muskrat to want to be around. That would be close enough in our area for a muskrat to be there. I have books on angel numbers and I have books on animal spirits. And I was like, what is the meaning of muskrat? And it was basically to start cleansing and decluttering our home, our life. It was very fitting because at that time, my husband was decluttering a trailer that we had since we moved 13 years ago, that we just kept piling stuff in to the point where it was so messy in there and we needed the storage, but storage was becoming everywhere else. So in the garage, in other trailers, in sheds, we needed to clean that out, reorganize it, declutter a lot of the stuff that we don't need anymore to make room for what we do have. It also is decluttering mental clarity as well. So our mental aspect, get rid of thoughts that we don't need, get rid of ideas that we don't need that are just taking up space. Songs or lyrics, so vibrational communication that mirrors your emotions or your next steps. So one that always comes to mind for me, this will probably be in my podcast next week, but October 18th of 2018, my mom called me that night and she said that my brother was back in the hospital and he was spending the night. My brother previously had cancer and he was in remission and he was cured from that cancer. On October 19th, I got up in the morning, I was doing my journaling, all of that kind of stuff. I got ready to go into the city to go see my mom and my brother at the hospital. And the moment I hopped in my truck, I do not know how this even happened, but my phone hooked up to my truck. My phone never hooks up automatically that quick to my truck. That day it did. The song that was playing was When I See You Again from Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious was my brother's favorite movie. He loved the whole series of them, and that song was playing. And I remember driving in knowing that that was my sign. My brother giving me the sign. Of course, my physical body, my mental, all of that, I was trying to logic myself out of it and believe that it wasn't true and it wasn't going to happen. However, 2 or 3 in the morning on the 20th of October, my brother passed away. But he was kind enough to give me the sign ahead of time to let me know. So songs can be signs as well. Dreams, of course. Dreams are our subconscious or even our spiritual self taking us on a journey outside of our physical body. And it's a space where our higher self can speak to us through symbols or sometimes just having a conversation with somebody that maybe you need to have that conversation. Maybe you need to hear the words from somebody, and that's what triggers you, and you realize that you're on the right path, or you're supposed to be doing this or that, whatever the case might be. So dreams, always pay attention to your dreams. And sometimes the weirdest dreams may be the ones telling you the deepest information. We know numbers, words, names, or symbols repeating. So those are just energetic codes reminding you of your path, that you're on the right path, that you're doing the right things, that yes, you should be going this way. So in the Akashic Records, these moments are seen as soul-led feedback loops. They're showing you where your energy is resonating, what timelines or lessons you're calling in. And when something feels like a sign, pause and ask, what was I just thinking or feeling when this appeared? Like I said earlier, it's not always about seeing that sign. It's about what were we thinking about prior to that, and then seeing that sign. So that, again, what was I thinking or feeling about when that sign appeared? What energy is reflecting back to me? So for me, a huge one that I have is chaos. Dislike chaos beyond anything. And I'm getting a lot of chaos back at me right now. And I'm getting very stressed over the chaos. And I need to stop and reflect and look at it. Where am I causing that chaos? I'm a mirror. We've talked about this before in my previous podcasts. We're mirrors. If something's happening to you, you're reflecting that out and it's being reflected back to you. Good and not so good. I don't want to say bad, but good and less good, we'll say, is being reflected back to you. How does it feel in my body? Am I peaceful? Is it exciting? Is it validating when I see those emotions? Your emotional resonance is the real translator of divine messages. How can we work with synchronicities? Some ways that you can deepen your connection with synchronicities and signs is acknowledge them. As soon as one happens, say thank you, universe. Thank you, guides. Thank you, higher self. All of that. I'm always thank you, universe. Thank you, creator. When you notice them and you say thank you, it strengthens the flow of them coming in. Gratitude raises your frequency and keeps the channel open for them to continually be coming in. You can journal your signs. You can keep a synchronicity journal. You can write down the numbers, the signs, the dreams, and the feelings all around them. And you'll start seeing a pattern and themes that emerge that reflect your growth. So if you can, try and write down, if you're thinking about going on that trip with your girlfriends and the sign comes in as 111, then you can write that down. Thinking of going on trip with girlfriends, sign 111. And then again, you're thinking about it and you get another sign. Maybe, a feather fell in front of your foot and you could write that down. And then you could see, yes, okay, it's not a coincidence that this is happening. I have 5 logical or physical experiences of this happening. Now I know the truth. I know that, yes, I should be going on this trip 100% with my girlfriends. No matter what the outcome is, whether if it's good, if it's bad, there's going to be growth in that no matter what. For confirmation, you can speak directly to your guides or to the Akashic Records. You could say, if this is meant for my highest good, please show me another sign in the next 24 hours. And the universe loves to clear those invitations. They love to show you again. And I do that quite frequently. I'll have a thought, I'll see a sign, and I'll be like, can you please show me? And I pick something random as can be. Can you please show me a yellow hippo? That's a pretty hard order. It's not like I'm just going to turn my head and look out the window and see a yellow hippo. But hey, maybe randomly that night I'm reading a book to my son that we've never read before. And in there's a yellow hippo. I literally had one time where I asked the universe to show me a pink balloon. And it was a pretty big idea that I wanted this pink balloon for. And yes, pink balloons are quite frequent. I understand that. But it's springtime. There's not a lot of balloons. I'm on an acreage. Where am I really going to see a pink balloon? We don't have pink balloons in our house. And literally, I was listening to a podcast, and it was the lady's 500th podcast. And she said that she went out and bought a 5 and 2 zeros in pink balloons and has them behind her because she does video. She's describing this. And I just broke down. I was like, what are the odds of seeing a pink balloon? And now if I think about what I was asking, I quite frequently will get pink balloons within a couple of hours of my thought of that. And it's the confirmation like, yes, this will happen. It's not the right timing right now for it to happen, but it will happen. I'm looking at my vision board and I did put it on my vision board. And without even realizing it, when I started talking about the pink balloon, my eye went to that part of my vision board. You can open the Akashic records, and in the records, you can ask questions like, what is this synchronicity showing me about my soul path? How can I align more deeply with this message? What energy am I stepping into? And the records will respond with clarity, warmth, and the reminder that nothing is random. Everything is energy in motion, guiding your evolution, your growth. It's guiding you all. Nothing is random. There are no coincidences in life. And to trust the timing. Not all signs mean go now. Some may mean to prepare. Tune into your body, into your heart. It'll always tell you if it is a time to act or to simply observe. And again, that's what I'm saying. I get a lot of pink balloons regarding that one manifestation that I am working on. That is what I have placed for that to be. That is my sign. And like I said, if I'm thinking about it and I see the pink balloon, I'm like, okay, maybe isn't right now, but it is going to happen within this lifetime. It is going to happen. And then I ask myself, what steps do I need to get to that point? Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right steps? Is there something that I could be doing to get there? It'll come to me in due time. You're never going to miss what is divinely meant for you. Maybe you take a little detour along the way because we as humans have the right to have free will, but we will always get back to that path. Maybe it is zigzaggy. Maybe there are a lot of forks on the way, but you're going to get there. If we all had a straight path to our end desire, that would be kind of boring. The zigzags and the forks, those are what provides us with the growth and the knowledge and the ability to be more advanced when we get there. I'm going to share some personal synchronicities that I've just journaled in the last week or so. I typically don't journal them, but I knew I wanted to do a podcast on synchronicities. So then I started writing them down, and it's the first time I've ever really journaled about my synchronicities. I didn't really think of that, and it was kind of fun. So I'm going to open up my notes app on my phone and just read through them. I went to chapters one day and I got the book, Lois Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. My friend's been telling me about this book for quite some time. It just never felt right, anything like that. So finally I went there and I picked it up, and I will kid you not, within the next 2 to 3 days, I listened to a podcast where that book was brought up. Huge confirmation that yes, this was the right time to be reading this book and I should have got it. Just, it was confirmation. And again, a synchronicity. I was watching TikToks. And I try not to scroll on TikToks a lot, but I was watching some TikToks and out of nowhere, it came up about the witch's wound. And then in the book that I was reading about motherhood myths, it was literally talking about witch's wounds. There is no way that my phone heard what I was reading in the middle of the night in my head, but yet TikTok and the book had the same conversations. Therefore, I started paying attention to witch's wounds, what it means, all of that. I think I should do a podcast on that. Very interesting. TikTok as well. Again, one of my nights of scrolling. This lady was talking about a hummingbird and how she found this house out of nowhere that had this hummingbird stained glass window in it, and her nanny had just passed away, and that was her sign from her nanny. And out of nowhere, my son goes to a store after I see this, and my son picks up a hummingbird. Never been interested in hummingbirds before. He's never touched it since. We bought him this little 3D printed hummingbird because he wanted it. And we're like, yeah, okay, it's a couple bucks for sure. And he doesn't even look at it or really care about it. But that day he cared about the hummingbird. I listened to a podcast, and there was a guest on there saying how she tells her kids that they are safe and loved and wonderful. And out of my son being born, I think he was maybe a month old, and he'd be laying in bed, and just before he would fall asleep, he always got anxious and upset, and he would be crying, and I would tell him out of nowhere, I don't even know where this came from, that he was safe and that he was loved. I've since then expanded it, but that just, you were safe and you were loved, is huge for him, because when I got his Akashic Records reading done with the astrology part of it, that is huge. That is something that he is working on in this lifetime. And out of nowhere, it came up. And then again with this podcast, just that it was confirmation, because I just sort of talked about it on my one podcast. And then there was that confirmation the next time I listened to a podcast about it. I see repeating numbers all the time, all the time. As soon as I get in the car, I'm driving on the highway, there will be repeating numbers on license plates all day long. I see a lot of 777, 999, 888, 111, 333. I will see 234. I will see 432. I see repeating numbers all the time. I do book work, and a lot of times when I'm inputting the information into QuickBooks, I see on the receipts repeating numbers, 333, whether if it was the time that this receipt was done, if it's the total of this receipt, whatever the case might be. And they're random purchases. And usually I get repeating numbers of some sort quite often, or sales that this lady does as well. They will come up as repeating numbers. Last weekend, we went and did a walk in memory of my brother. And when we went to park the truck, the vehicle in front of us, the license plate was 361 KSD. Again, it's a walk for my brother who has passed away. His initials spell KSD. So it's confirming that, yes, my brother is there with us. And of course, I came home and read what 361 was, because he's telling me something. I need to know what it is. So, another one, dead snakes. I've been seeing a ton of dead snakes lately. And that for me is not something that I see quite frequently, but we're seeing them. And that has meaning as well. I'm not 100% sure what snakes mean. Just hold on and I'll get my book. I have a number of different books that I use for spirit animals and understanding their messages. And the one that I'm using right now is Pocket Guide to Spirit Animals by Dr. Stephen Farmer. It's a small little pocket-sized one. It's very, very nice. It's easy to either take with you or just kind of keep out on your coffee table, something like that. I also have his massive deep dive big one as well. The pocket one is nice just to get an idea of what it might mean. So of course, I live in Saskatchewan, so we have garter snakes. In this book, they go into like boa constrictor, cobra, python, rattlesnake, all of those. They don't have garter snake in here, but I'm just going to go based on snake. So it says, you're about to go through some significant personal changes, so intense and dramatic that the old self will metaphorically die as a new self emerges. You're going to feel a surge of energy that will sharpen your senses, alert your mental faculties, and open up new channels of awareness. You're about to resolve a long-standing issue, one that has required a great deal of your attention, by seeing things in a new light. It would be a good time for you to start doing either tantric or kundalini yoga, which is funny because lately I'm like, how can I reset my nervous system? So kundalini yoga, that might be something that we're going to do. You'll experience a dramatic and unexpected physical or emotional healing very soon, coming from an unexpected source. That's what snake means. I also have Doreen Virtue's Angel Numbers 101. It's a pocket-sized book as well, and it just goes through numbers. So let's do what 361 was. 361. Your prayers about paying your bills and other earthly concerns have been heard and answered. Turn your worries into prayer for help. So that's what my brother was communicating with me last week. Another big one that hasn't been recently, but that I'm just thinking of right now is I've been feeling a call to be deepening my healing work for some time. I started Reiki on a whim. I just felt the need that I needed to do it. I've been really diving deep this last year into the Akashic Records, and I'm wanting to go further and expand everything that I'm offering and my business and all of that and taking it to a new direction. And now I constantly seeing the repeating numbers. I'm seeing the confirmation that I should be doing this, and I'm working on it. It's taking some time, but I'm working on it. And every time that I question, should I be doing this? Is this the work that I should be doing? Should I be going back to corporate world to make things easier financially for our family? Should I be going back to corporate world and find a daycare for my son? I keep getting the no. I am on the right path by doing what I'm doing with the podcast, with my business of Reiki healing and Akashic records reading and all of that. I'm getting those confirmations constantly that I'm on the right path with this. And every time I questioned if I should be doing the soul healing, if I should be in the healing practice, I started seeing synchronicities, and specifically 444. I've trusted in myself and the flow that's led me here to be doing what I'm doing right now and to connecting with all of you. And I appreciate all of you being here and joining me on this journey. Synchronicities are not just about magic. They are about trust and how your soul reminds you that you're never walking alone. So again, trust that you're on the right path, and maybe you're going to detour to the left and you're going to detour to the right and you're going to go straight for a bit and then you're going to detour again. Maybe you come to the fork in the road and you have to make that decision of which way you're going to go. Trust that path and know that at the right time, it's going to happen for you. You are going to get to what you divinely are meant to have. I want to do something a little bit differently today. So before I leave, I want to do a meditation with you. It should be approximately 5 minutes. Start by taking a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Notice the energy around you. Subtle, alive, and always communicating. Ask your higher self or guides silently, what signs or synchronicities are you sending me right now that I might be ready to see? Trust whatever image, feeling, or thought arises. It's all a part of your soul's unique language with the universe. And remember, synchronicities are not outside of you. They are the reflection of your inner energy field, speaking through the physical world. You are the co-creator of every sign that finds you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly hope that this episode resonates with you. Share it with someone who might need a little magic and confirmation from the universe. Please subscribe and like and review. That's going to help my podcast, and I would appreciate if you could do that for me. I thank you so very much for joining me today and every week for my podcast. Leave a comment. You can reach out to me on my Facebook group at Elevated Soul Healing or Elevated. You can email me at elevatedsoulhealing@gmail.com. I'll have all the links in the show notes as well for you. Or you can reach out on Instagram at elevated_soul_healing or at elevated pod. Let me know what you want to hear. I would love some ideas of what it is you're hoping to find, information on what your soul is wanting to learn and grow with. Please leave that, and any comments or any feedback would be most appreciated. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. I want to do a personal podcast about my brother, what he went through and what his passing has done for me and all that has come of that. So please stay tuned for that. I love you guys. Thank you for being here so very much. Again, please follow, like, share, subscribe, and please let me know what you want to hear. And if you want to be a guest on my podcast, please reach out. I would love to have guests on my podcast. Thank you. Have the absolute most wonderful day and week.